done a few wreck explorations, but definitely one of the most awesome experiences I've done is being part of the team on the Phoenician Wreck in Malta.
Mm-hmm.
I will still never forget what I was looking at when I went down onto that wreck for the first time. When I joined the team, the first dive that you do is just to kind of, get your bearings and take it all in before they expect you to do any graft on the wreck. And just coming down that line, and you get to 110 meters, and there's this one big light that's lighting up the Phoenician, the sort of amphora field.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get there, hovering over this lot, and you realize that nobody has been here for thousands of years. The last person to possibly have touched or held this object was almost 3,000 years ago.
It's amazing, isn't it?
There's so much history there. I mean, it's one thing. World War II wreck. There's so many documentaries about World War II, and you see so much of it, on any Discovery or National Geographic. We're exposed to it so much, and it's still current history. It wasn't that long ago, but definitely getting onto that Phoenician wreck, and just taking a moment to absorb the fact that this is so old. This is ancient history. And your head starts going through all sorts of scenarios. How did this thing get you? What story does it tell? Where was it coming from? Where was it going? And why did it end up sinking in Xlendi?
Yes,
go ahead. What's below the sand? We're currently excavating and trying to get rid of the sand that the wreck is buried under, and who knows what we'll find. It could be anything. We could find the first cell phone. It was buried. It's a massive conspiracy by somebody to bury the first electronic device. Or there could be, who knows? There's so many.
There was a bit of a funny, but I having lived on Gozo for a couple of seasons and worked at Gozo Technical, there's a site near Shara called Gargantia, and it's got the ruins there. This is on land, obviously, of a civilization that predates the pyramids, and that's one of 3 civilizations that was there, and each one died out. So that what they can see from it, they don't know very much about them, but one died out, then the next one came, then that one completely died out, and another one came. And so the history of that part of the world is just immense. And so you can imagine it's an island, right? So for different civilizations to get there over those timeframes, they must have come by sea. And so what you're seeing is almost certainly part of one of those. And it's so special, it's a really great place, Malta and Gozo. I sort of had a little touch. I've dived Xlendi quite a few times, and I've done a 65-meter dive along the wall there, and there's a few amphora parts there. It's a bit naughty. I don't think you're really supposed to dive there. I didn't find that out till afterwards. But we didn't touch anything. We left everything as we found it. But it was just awesome to be able to see that and to realize that what we're looking at is probably several thousand years old, and that's nothing on the what you guys are working on there. So it must just be amazing. And of course, I think it's one of the only archaeological explorations that's taking place deeper than 100 meters. Right? It's an immense diving project in itself to do this, isn't it?
It's it's taking a big team. We're doing weeks of work. 3 weeks last year, and we did, between the team, we did 17 days of diving.
Wow!
Over those 3 weeks, and only 10% of their time was spent on the bottom. So that just goes to show the limited time that we have working at that depth. When you're down there and you say, well, okay, our dive time is going to be 20 or 22 minutes. But you're working, and as you're working, you're discovering and you're finding things, and you want to go a little bit deeper and just a little bit deeper, and you think, well, let me do another minute and see if I can dig a little bit deeper. And in that minute, you've clocked up another 20 minutes of deco.
Yeah.
So you spend 20 to 30 minutes in the water, and you're doing a 3 to 4 hour dive, sometimes a bit longer. So we're putting in so much water time for so little bottom time.
Yeah.
And it's going to take the team a very long time to eventually achieve everything that we need to get done on the wreck.
Yeah.
And we have an incredible team. I mean, guys from all over the world that are working on the project, and it's really exciting to be a part of it. It's just count myself very lucky to be.
Sounds immense, and I'm just thinking through everything now about how you plan those dives. Number one, the planning of the dives, and you would need a very large team, wouldn't you? Because I mean, it's not every day you're going to do a 100-meter dive back to back, right? I'm assuming that you don't do that.
Yeah.
So you've got you one day in the water, and I guess you're the next day out doing some other sort of surface task while the other divers are down. Just sounds amazing.
We have an incredible team, and really it works like clockwork. It's one of the most professional teams I've ever been lucky to be involved with, and everything you feel really confident. At no point on any of the dives did I ever feel like what I'm doing is really dangerous. If you have to sort of put it into perspective, yes, you're diving a rebreathe at 110 meters and you're working underwater. And you're looking at, this 4 hour dive time. So yes, in many senses it is dangerous, but because of the confidence of the team and because the team is so rock solid, the plan is so well thought out and the execution is done so well, it builds a lot of self-confidence in your role in the job. And I think everyone on the team feels a lot better for it.
Yeah. I'm assuming you're there in the summer as well.
Yeah, September.
Yeah. And it's pretty benign place, Gozo, as well. It's not a place where you get a lot of bad weather that time of the year, nor is there a lot of current and that sort of thing. So I guess that helps that from that point of view, you're not fighting the elements all the time either. It's just really executing the dives, right? Yeah, that's super interesting. And if anyone wants to look at that, I'll put a link to the Phoenician Wreck project in the podcast notes, so you can look at some of the background on that, because it really is an interesting project, and from the point of view of the diving that's being executed, but also what they're finding historically and archaeologically. So, amazing.